guys, my name is Sonia and this is my YouTube channel. I'm a Nigerian content creator based in Toronto. As you know, I do Sunday sit downs with Sonia. If you've never been here before, I do this every Sunday. We just talk about whatever we want to talk about, anything that I just feel like talking about. And so today, like in my last episodes, which I'll put in the cards, we talked about dating from the girls, dating like in Canada, in somewhat comparison to Nigeria from the girl's perspective, not relationship necessarily, but just like dating. And now we want to get it from the guy's perspective. And I have two good-looking single guys. One is shy. But introduce yourself. So let's introduce the person that we can see first. What's your name?
My name is Jesse. Jesse
what?
Jesse Onwiche.
Oh, okay. So
yeah. I'm Delta. I'm actually Delta anyway, but
okay. Delta.
People would say the Igbo speaking part of Delta. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
I don't know. My name is Tony. What else do you want to know? What else do you want to know? Yeah. You have to give me a heads up when you want to do this stuff so that I can come out properly, you know.
With one fine picture, one fine.
I have to dress up, do my makeup, everything.
Unlike me, do I look dressed up with my makeup? This is my own channel, and I'm chill. It's Sunday chill, Sunday.
Sunday chill.
The person that is looking at the person that may want me may be out there. I cannot come out.
Right? They just see and be like, "How's that guy?" And you see, you need them to see you in your natural state. They can't love you in your natural state.
You have to put your best foot forward.
No, they don't deserve you when you're fresh.
You have to put your best foot forward first.
Is your natural self.
Exactly. You see this guy already feeling this guy.
Okay.
You can't be anything.
You have to put your best foot forward. Be cool.
Exactly. Anyway, so how has it been for you guys? Have you guys done used dating apps? What's the experience been like? Like dating or not necessarily like being in a relationship. I don't know. You can say if you've been in a relationship since you moved here, or have you just been dating? What's it been like? What's the experience? Do you think girls are using you for free food? Like, just tell me
You're just bad. Are you using guys for free food? Start with that.
I don't even have time to go out like that.
Are you offering free food to guys?
Well, it's all part of
free food.
The free food is part of it now. But as you know, the culture here too matters a lot now. The culture here, bills are shared now. So I mean, if it gets to the point where the free food is not so free, you can opt for the sharing of the bill option.
Yeah, like it's implied, like you sharing is something that happens, right? It's implied.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be real, when you're with a lady and I mean you've told her like, oh, this is what I have for today, and she goes over it, which is good. She could as well just share the bills with you. I've been with a few people that are not Nigerians, and they were quite eager to share the bills. The Nigerian culture, I mean, most ladies are not like in a haste to share the bills.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, for me, I'm real. Like, if you're somewhere and it's good, I just tell you this is what I have. And the rest, what's up? Are you good before you go ahead for it? If you're good, let's do it. If you're not good, you might want to wait for another time until I have that in my plan. You know, but I won't do something I'll come back home and feel bad about. I don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you don't want to do it at all? Do you have the chance to tell us straight up and say, look, I live in Canada and life is not as easy as it was back home, and I'm not open to sharing, like I'm not open to paying for your bills, your drinks or whatever. We go out, I want you to pay for yours. Are you open to doing that?
Well, I won't do that. Honestly, I won't do that.
You just sit at home, right?
No. Like, I won't do that. I'll rather take her out and tell her my budget. I mean, that's who I am. Unless if I don't want to go out. But if I feel
or you pick the place, right, that is according to your budget. Like the highest
usually I don't even know places because I cook a lot at home. So I don't really know places. So I'd rather go where she wants to go.
You're one of those there's rice at home people.
Fit farm, team Fit Farm here. Well, all of us in Canada are doing Fit Farm because for me, I think it's quite expensive to eat out, right? So if
if you're alone.
I've been out with people, right? And I've been out like where like I dated someone here, and I just found that for me, first, I need to understand lifestyle. So I usually don't meet people and just don't jump in to date them.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to take my time, but I asked you. So dating is different from being in a relationship. So you're trying to spend time to know them, to hang out, to do stuff together. And if for some people, it's a thing for them to always go out and to eat out, and like every other day or every weekend, like they want to go somewhere and eat somewhere. I am not that kind of person. I'd rather go to the grocery store, buy my salmon and whatever, I'll grill my fish or my chicken and make whatever I want to make at home and probably just watch Netflix. I go out too, like I'll probably go to Lakeshore, I'll go on the bike ride, I'll go to the cottages, camping, whatever. But I'm not the one to always go sit down on the patio and eat out. So if I met someone and it was just not there, like we're not just that compatible because they want to go out like every other weekend, and I'd rather just sit my ass at home. So,
yeah, because another thing I think about, like, I guess if you guys are meeting like on dating apps, right? The girl should not assume you will pay. Because you're both meeting on dating apps, it's like no one actually asked the other one out. You're both there for like a reason, right?
Yeah.
Most times if you see someone and you as the guy ask her out, it's a bit implied that you are bringing her out, like you're asking her to come out and meet you.
In what culture?
Even here, even in the European and the American, like even here, that's what happens, right? Even in like I schooled in Europe, and even there, like with Oibo guys, I never once paid for, and I didn't like I will always offer, but they said don't worry. I never once paid. I don't know, because they felt I'm black and I'm different, right? I'm not one of their girls. I don't know, but I never once paid for anything I went for.
But let me ask you a question. What if here right now, say you saw me outside, you liked me, and you wanted to hang out with me, and then you asked, like you I don't know about some girls here, but I've met girls that will come up to you and say, hey, you look nice, like I want to hang out with you.
Some girls can pay. I can pay. I've done it. I paid for guys. I've asked a friend, like sometimes even in Nigeria, right? If I ask my friend out, it doesn't have to be guy I'm dating, or even just my friend, right? Let's go out. I want company. Let's go out. I will pay. I'll pay, or at least pay for my own if I'm not paying for yours to get together, right? But I'll definitely pay for my own. That one is for sure. But sometimes I'll even
pay will you
guy.
offer to pay for him? That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but they usually don't agree. That's the thing. They always say no, but I will. There are a few guys. There are a few guys that have
asked me out. Okay.
No, there are a few guys that have allowed me pay.
No, it's not late yet.
I can pay for you. I can pay for myself. Even here in Canada, all the dates I've gone out with people, the guy always pays. Like I've never had to pay. He's never said, split the bill. Even if I say I can pay, like let's pay separate. Like even before we get to the point, he's just like, it's one bill.
One bill, right?
Yeah, he just says it, right? So
but I've met a few like Oibos that like really wanted to, like they were sure that we were going to split the bill. Like all I had to do at most was like, okay, you know what, we'll just do 30-70. But like they were super sure, like they weren't going to let it happen. They weren't going to let me pay all the bill. Like they stated it clear before we went. When I still wanted to pay, like she made it clear like it's a no-no. I mean, I think there's some of them that are really strong with it. And if you push, it makes you look like, I mean, I don't want to say like you're trying to push away their culture, you're trying to do something that it's not.
It's not even their culture, but let me tell you something. Did you see her again? Have you seen her again after that?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
It's not, do you know what? It's not in her culture. Do you know why? So it's not in Oyibo culture. Do you know, even the fact that we expect men to pay for us in Nigeria, we didn't necessarily learn it from our culture. It's not in our culture. We learned a lot of our culture from Oyibos. A lot of things that we say is our culture, we still learned it from Oyibo people. Like, they're the ones that first started. They're the ones that, but it's just that they
going out, right?
Yeah, they're the ones that even it's just that they evolve faster and quicker.
No, Chika. I think personally, if you go back, I do a lot of history reading. So, if you go back to history, it was a man's prerogative to provide.
To do exactly.
Because,
so even with them, right? Even with
not just that. It's because the men, a lot of the work that was required to make life sweet were physical hard labor that men could only do. Right. So at the time, it was a man's job to go out in the morning, go do some labor job or whatever job they had to do, hunting, whatever, to provide for the family. But now I think things are different. So in my own opinion, personally, I mean, right now there's all this movement for, equality and standards and everything. So what is to say that if I'm dating you and we went out, you're earning $200,000, $100,000, and I'm doing minimum wage and I'm earning 40,000, and then because I'm a man, I just have to struggle through paying for you because I'm trying to impress you, or I'm having this patriarchal feeling,
but on the first date, like first dates or like casual dating at first, you're not going to know all that information, right? That is now when you guys maybe enter a relationship. But when you're just meeting someone on a dating app, you're not going to know.
But my question is, what if I'm not able to afford it and you could?
Then you don't ask for, like, you people don't agree on such a date, right? You agree on ice cream. Let's go for ice cream. Let's go for a walk. Like, people have done simple dates like that.
Come to my house. I'll cook for you.
People do simple. You have to come up with more creative ideas of how you can, because just because you don't have money doesn't mean you cannot be romantic and you cannot make a girl feel special, right? And have a good time. You just have to be more creative with how you do it. That would make like less money sometimes. And the fact for some women, for the fact that a guy is not as well off and still puts some kind of effort is even more impressive to a woman than a guy that has the money, but so when he spends that money, it's really nothing to him because he has a lot of it. So it's not like he's doing anything special, right? So it's just like one of those things I can do for any girl. But if you see a guy that's not as well to do, that is trying to put an effort with the little he has to show you a good time and make you feel special or good, you're going to appreciate, well, it depends on the girl, I guess, but you're going to appreciate that.
But again, I think how you guys met is also very important, because just talking about the app stuff, most people will feel like safe, in quotes, to do the first dating or seeing outside. But usually if you guys met like in an event, maybe in a party, you guys can start the first date. You guys can start the first date in any of your house. Like it could be anywhere. I mean, in Nigeria, most times where because we are all Nigerians there, people feel really safe. When you meet a girl in a wedding or something, and you're like, and you guys are talking about the phone for like 2 days, you're like, okay, how do we say, like, come to my place, I'll cook for you. Oh, wow, really, you know how to cook? Okay, then I'll jump in, send me the address, I
mean, even here, guys invite you for first date for dinner. They tell you to come to the house, they'll cook.
Yeah, they cook for you,
And they vice do it here.
Women do it too for men, yeah.
My friend is here in the background listening to us, and she's like, in Nigeria is the one she will not even feel safe. Like, even here she'll feel somewhat safe because they take these things, like if you raise alarm, they take it a bit more seriously here, right? Than in Nigeria. So if you raise alarm for any reason in Nigeria, everybody just like, what are you doing in his house? Who sent you? But if you're here, exactly, why did you go there? As if men are animals, you can't visit a man again.
Who sent you?
At all. When people say these things, I'm just like, are men animals? This is that we should not visit men because we don't visit you. You say, why are you scared? Don't be scared. But when we visit, why were you there? When something happens that you didn't want to happen, why were you there? Who sent you there? Like, so what are people really saying? What do you want? Should we visit you or not? Like,
I should visit now, of course. Now there must be visitation now. If we want to take it back to the Bible story, which I believe so much in, God used to visit Adam in the Garden of. So visitation has always been part of the human program, and it's the visit cannot be taken out because there must always be a visit. And I do believe that it doesn't matter the first or the second time. A good guy is always a good guy. What he does not do, what he wouldn't do is what he wouldn't do. So people usually live on principles, on beliefs, on how they were raised. So if it's a guy that will still do harm, the harm will only be postponed if it's a bad person.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
eventually,
it will definitely happen when he's ready, when he's more convenient.
yeah.
So let me ask, like, when you're dating, what is your intention? Like, what's in your mind? Like, are you just dating to just get to know people, have fun, or are you dating in hopes that you find someone that you could be serious with? Like, is that what you're open for right now, or is just like pretty much just getting to know people, no pressure? Or, I mean, it's definitely no pressure anyhow, but are you guys hoping that at some point maybe you find someone that you actually like and you could be in a serious, committed? Are you monogamous in a relationship, or are you a polygamous person? So I've thrown like two questions there. First of all, like, what's your perspective? What's in your mind when you're dating? Like, what are you hoping? What's the end goal? What's the long-term goal of dating? And then the second thing, are you monogamous or polygamous? Are you into open relationships or not? Or is it only open when it's you that is open and the girl is not open? Continue.
Answer. Tough for this on tie rapper.
Why is it tough? Be honest. You know what the answer is.
Well, from my own point of view, I think it's for both reasons. Humans are social animals, so you need friends.
Mm-hmm.
And when you want to get to meet a person for the first 2-3 times, I believe that 1-3 times you can make a decision of what it will become. However, if the person is a good person, you want to keep the person as a friend. I mean, sometimes you meet the person the first time and you really think, oh, we could go on well, but you guys begin to talk about things, and then you check the trajectory and you're like, okay, I don't think we can build a family together, but I think I could connect with her and we could, still
just
build
be good friends, like, have a nice relationship as friends, right? Yeah.
And build a network. But for me, the key thing is friendship. Friendship is very key. And that's why I always...
You even need it for the relationship, like for the committed relationship, right? You need that. So
your woman has to be your friend at all times. She should be your best friend. Always be there for you. So I think it's just to take it like gradually and then see how it goes. And if you're seeing that it's not going well, the earlier the better. I mean, for a woman. And I just wanted to add the pressure part. There's still pressure for men, right? I was speaking to my dad today back home, and he was telling me about a guy that we grew up together, but he's much, much older than me. The guy is close to 45. And I was asking my dad, I'm like, because the guy's dad, the guy lost his dad. So I'm like, okay, is he not married? And I'm like, no. Like he was trying to get married to a lady, but the lady showed him her daughter, and her daughter was 16. And he was showing my dad the daughter of the lady, and he was like, well, I don't think I can do this because the lady obviously has a very big girl. And I was like, but he's is
it that he feels like the girl will not take to him as a dad because she's already like older, or what? Like, what do you think?
I think for him, he's just feeling like, okay, I don't know what he's feeling, but I mean, he was trying to tell my dad that he wouldn't want to start like that for the first time, and then just, I mean, maybe he has waited so long. Like I told you, he's in his mid-40s, right? And maybe he wants to get it right. He's like, okay, I don't want to use the word get it right because, I mean, getting it right is a very big word to use. But he just feels like I should just do it with maybe someone who has a small child or someone who doesn't have a child. So he's 45, and I mean, time is fast spent. For example, let me say, I don't see him getting like a girl that is much, much young. If he's looking for that, I was trying to tell my dad that, but he has to just try and, get something and get going, because before you know, he's 50. And it's getting longer.
And some guys like to deceive themselves that
the pressure is there, especially when you somebody.
Some guys like to deceive themselves that they can be 60 and get any girl they want.
50 is the new 25 for, please.
Wow, right?
It's also the new 25 for women. Keep going.
50 is the new 25, but
I agree with you.
Tony, so what's your own take?
Okay. Where do I start? I've tried to quietly listen to Jesse, yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know where to start the comment from. My take, I'm just gonna challenge a few things he said. Not challenge per se, but sometimes what I've come to understand or what I've experienced personally is that, so you meet someone and you you want to be friends with them before you decide to move to the next stage. So my concern is this. So at what point do you move to the next stage of saying, okay, I have a friend and I want to move it to be a relationship? And the second question is this, is at that point where you're having friends, are you allowed to have other friends as well? That are probably, because what I've come to find out is this, and again, what I compared to back home is, back home you just meet someone and you're pretty much like, after a week or two, after like a week or two, you're sure like, okay, we want to do this. Let's be together, and you start setting rules and boundaries and shit. But here you're like, okay, I want to be friends. I want to hang out. And then, are you allowed to have other friends that pretty much are thinking of you the same way? So I want to be friends with Sonia. I want to be friends with Uju and all these. And so I'm having like 4 friends. I'm trying to see if I can progress to the next level with either of them. And I just find it's time consuming. You never end up being focused, because eventually you're going to have like 20 friends, 10 friends, 30 friends. Like, you're never going to be able
you
to
have, the harder it gets to zero
exactly down. Because it's actually difficult. These things are time consuming, shuttling between work and life and all the things you have to do, and then trying to keep up with 4 friends, for example. How are you ever going to focus on anyone?
This is exactly why I was telling Ify one, but continue.
So I don't know. I found that like I've tried both sides. I'm like, okay, you just want to meet someone and date them and like, progress. But then what happens is, after, like he said, like what Jesse said, after like a month, 3 months, you're like, this is not exactly what I want for myself.
Fine, then we both move on. You start again now. The thing is that a lot of people...
it's draining. Do you know how draining it is?
It is. It's draining.
It is draining. Like, you've done, okay, now you just spent, not just even this, like, you spend time, energy trying to invest in them. You probably cut off your future wife in the process, or your future partner, and you've probably ignored every other person that's tried to come into your life just because you're focusing on this friend. And then after 3 months, you're like, nah, this is not working. Like, and then you have to start another friend. And then, so what I've found here is, personally, there seem to be a lot of options. So people are not even willing to put in the effort it takes to even say, let's progress to the next level. Because there, I don't know, I think it's something with our generation, or I don't know, like our parents, our old, like the old generation, they kind of had, they knew that this thing is not going to be perfect, but they were willing to put in the work to make it work. But here, you just notice a flaw or two, and you start having excuses. So even if you've been with someone for like a year or like 9 months, then you start supposedly seeing something like greener on the other side. Like, the grass is always greener on the other side, obviously. And then
first of all, those people are not. They don't really. They are not really ready. They don't really know what they want. First of all, and there are some people that they self-sabotage a lot.
So this is the concern I have. What I've come to find out is, like what Jesse was saying, most people just think, I'm 30, I need to get married, or I'm 40, or I'm 45.
And just getting...
If you're not ready, you're not ready. Even if you're 100.
But you know, Tony, there's a saying that you may not know you're ready until you find the person.
Yes.
True. But the question,
I kind of like that ready though. That's the kind of ready me I like.
The problem I have, honestly, is that a lot of us don't self-discover. We don't even ask the question, what do I really want?
That's what I was saying, right? Like they don't really even know what they want.
A lot of us don't even know. So when you talk about being ready, it means you're preparing. You're making effort. You're trying to know what exactly works for you. So I'm not ready because I'm 35.
You're also building yourself to be ready.
Exactly. You're trying to be what you want to attract.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm trying to be ready by, reading books to develop myself. I'm trying to be ready by,
so that when that right person comes, it's easy, it's quick, yeah.
Or you can make the person right too.
It's
It might
seamless, right?
not come, but you can make the person right.
I personally don't believe in changing people. That's me.
No. You're not changing, Tony. You're not changing the person.
You're
making the person right for you.
Like setting your mind or making a decision.
Because the right person may never come in quotes. It might be you might just keep meeting the people. There's a probability that you keep meeting people. You still have to you guys have to work on yourself.
No, I think
become right for yourself.
The right person can come, but there's no perfect person.
Exactly.
Right? Let me just say this.
The right person doesn't mean they'll be perfect, right? Or they'll tick all your boxes, but they'll just fit with you in their imperfections. Both your imperfections will fit.
But I think based on what you guys are saying, you're kind of going a little bit off tangent based on the topic you guys were supposed to discuss. That's what I think, just from listening to you guys somehow in the background. I mean, the first question is, how's dating, here? Do you guys, do you find yourself going more online to look for people? I feel like we all do. If you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, if you do use Twitter, those are avenues where you can find people online. When I say online, are you going specifically to dating apps to go and, connect with people? Is that something that you found that you started doing more because you've moved to Canada?
Do you mean the sex apps, not the dating apps?
I mean, whatever.
It is what it is. For
whatever.
No, for me, I don't do the apps.
Which is fine. That's
because it's what you make it, really.
Apart from that,
I don't do the apps.
I'm just saying, in general, if you think about it, because if you come from Nigeria, people still use apps, so people are not just on the phone about speaking about stuff
Facebook
like that. Now that you're here, do you find yourself resorting to it more? Or if you don't, do you find that it's in places like if you're a Christian and you like to go to church, do you find that you socialize better with people there? Or do you have to go to parties? Or is it at work? Is it on the train? That's
how are you
I
meeting
need to
people?
know based on the topic that you guys are presenting here. From a
how
real perspective, how is dating? What do you find that you're gravitating towards more? And I know that you also said that because there's more options, it's more difficult to date. But in what aspect? Is it more options from online or more options from just meeting people naturally, physically?
The guys did mention that they don't actively seek out Nigerian women, but they don't mind if they meet one.
For me personally, I think I'm a social animal, so I meet people everywhere. I would
100.
The gym.
I would when I first arrived Canada, I used some of the apps, like you're swiping left, right, you're checking Instagram, you're sliding into DMs and shit. But what I've found is that most times, for me personally, it just doesn't work. When I meet people on the apps, or it just is sort of mechanical for me. And I find that I've found personally there's not a model that works for me. So what works for me personally is to get my ass out there and go see people. So I would go to the beaches,
you just flow, start talking.
Or I personally prefer to meet people among mutual friends. So if I went to a house party, or I went to a gathering of people, I went to a club, and then friends of friends came. So that's personally what I found works for me, because I just find that it flows more naturally for me. I want to have a conversation. I want to pick your brain about certain things. I want to be controversial. I want to see how you handle controversy. I want to throw certain things at you and see how you respond to them. On the apps, it's pretty much very mechanical. It's more like, what do you want?
Because it's not something you're used to. Anything you're not used to doesn't seem natural.
That's what I'm saying. So for my opinion, it doesn't work for me. I've used it before. Sometimes it's Canada. It gets really boring and lonely, and sometimes you just want to go there.
Let me see what's going on.
Exactly. So you just slide in again and go and check.
How about you? Do you? Sorry, I don't know your name.
Jesse.
Jesse, hi. Sorry, my name is Ife. Do you find that you're using social media apps? And when I say social media apps, it has to also do with dating apps as well. Do you find that you're using that more that you're here, or do you find that it's still the same? You meet people.
Just meet people.
I just go for people. I meet people everywhere. I used to live in Ottawa. I meet people in the bus. I meet people everywhere. When I go out for a setting, I just see a girl I like and I want to talk to her. I go straight to her and talk to her, find a line, and then just start the conversation from anywhere. I really believe that you can start a physical conversation from anywhere, and even if it's wrong, you can still make it right in the process.
Yeah.
And that's me. I don't care my first line. I know that when you reply, I'm going to pick up from your reply and make it into something.
You're confident. You're intelligent.
This guy is a smooth talker. You guys should
No. I used to work on radio at some point.
Hey, you're smooth talkers.
You have to be able to feed off people's energy, right? Like bounce off people's energy.
Bounce off people's energy and then just build conversations. For me, app don't really work because I tried Facebook once, and I think I tried the one of, I think it's Tinder, just swiping, and I'm like, but I didn't even have the energy to keep checking. I was almost getting confused. I'm like, this thing doesn't work for me. And sometimes too, when I want
you need to change your Tinder location, put it downtown.
No, but sometimes too, I feel like for me, the phone can be very distracting. And I'm somebody who is quick to get distracted by things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, like, on my phone, I don't even have my Instagram on my phone. I just have it on my iPad. You know, something I do at home. But if I'm outside, I don't want to, and I don't want somebody to chat me up and I don't reply after like 16 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leave it. I'm like, okay, I have to delete this because it won't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm on my phone, I'm working, I'm busy, I need that time. When I get distracted, there's a research that says that it takes you 21 minutes to come back when you're being distracted.
Mm-hmm.
So when I want to do something, I just want to focus and get it done. But meeting people one-on-one has always been my style, even as a teenager, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I even love sometimes it turned down, like, oh no, I'm not interested. I love it. I love every part of it. You know, I would never do app.
I wanted to say something, but before I say it, let's just quickly answer the question. Are you people into polygamy or you're monogamous? Are you trying to look for one person or you're into open things?
Tony looks like he likes polygamy, but Jesse looks like he's.
You know me, I'm very controversial. So if you're asking me, be ready for the answer you want. The question. So a lot of Nigerians are obviously into monogamy, but then the funny thing is we are all cheating and we are all polygamous in nature. So I asked the question, which, again, discover yourself. What do you want?
Mm-hmm.
I personally, the answer for me right now is I'm just discovering myself. I'm just learning.
You're just discovering yourself as a monogamist or as a polygamist.
No, naturally, I mean, based on my environment, based on growing up in Nigeria, it's monogamy, obviously. Everybody's one man, one
But you're trying to see if that's really who you are.
But is that really what you want? Like, what if I wanted to be in an open relationship? What if I wanted to be polygamous? What if I wanted something else? What if I don't, like I told Chika, like sometimes people say, oh, you're 30, you have to be married. Oh, you're 30. What if I don't want to get married?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What if I was meant to be single?
That's going to be my next question. Are you guys actually?
So these are questions that I say, again, you have to know what works for you. You need to self-discover. I'm not the one that said, man, know thyself. Like, a lot of us live through lives and we just do things based on our society. So because you live in Nigeria, it's obvious that it's once you're 30, find a girl. If you don't find one, your parents will find one for you.
Everybody will pressure you.
Yeah, have kids. Get old, raise your kids, get old and die. Like, your path of life has been laid down for you. This is how you have to follow it. But then moving to a society like here, you're seeing all this. I know friends that are in open relationships, and it works. They've been together for 12 years, 15 years, you know. And then some of the ones that are monogamous in quotes, you are looking at the guys, and every weekend you guys are. I'm like, okay, okay.
So Jesse,
for me, I'm still self-discovering. That's my answer, honestly. I don't know if I want monogamy or if I want polygamy.
What that means, in other words, is you're not monogamous. So who
says I'm not monogamous? What if I decide after discovering myself that this is what actually works for me? You can never know without even trying. We only say we're monogamous because we're raised in a society that pushed it down our throat. We didn't have any other option.
I don't think everyone, even if you're raised in a society where there's polygamy, some people still lean towards being monogamous. So even
but that's because they've experienced polygamy as well, and so they can decide.
No, I don't think so. There are two different things.
Funny enough, like, even though our culture is supposedly monogamous, I think it was actually first of all polygamous, right? And it was like the Oyibo people that came and religion that brought monogamy to us in Africa. So it sure depends.
Monogamous or polygamous? Join us next week to find out more. Thank you for watching.